This is a quick walk around video for a Honda Civic 1.8 SE. Finished in Nighthawk black, as you can see here, with just 45,000 miles on the clock. In very, very good condition. Just the odd, very minor mark on the car, which you'd clearly expect with the age and mileage of the vehicle, but in reality it's probably far better than most. The bonnet itself is very clean, with hardly a stone chip of any note in there at all. All the lights and lenses completely clear and intact. And to come down the near side of the car first, very clean in the panels. I can't see any obvious indentations there at all. Front near side alloy, very clean, no marks, skags or curbing on there at all. And the panel work down this side is very, very good. Worth pointing out, obviously, it's an 11-year-old car. There will be the odd minor mark, brush mark, which would easily polish out, which the camera doesn't pick up on. Rear near side alloy, again, almost unmarked. Come around the back of the car, again, all very clean and tidy. And around to the off side of the vehicle, which as with the near side, it's very, very smooth in the panels, as you can see there. There's no sort of car parking dinks or indentations. Offside rear alloy, again, very, very good indeed. Really good set of tyres on the car as well, plenty of tread on them. But it all looks lovely and original, this car. I can't see any obvious sort of spray work or anything that's been done on the car. And then the offside front alloy there, absolutely as clean as a whistle. So overall, externally, for a car of its age or mileage, it's in very good condition. Coming into the boot area, all in very, very good condition. Fabric's all very nice indeed, and of course it's an absolutely huge boot. 60/40 fold on the rear seats, and underneath there you've got your hidden sort of cubby hole underneath, which you can drop that down to give you extra boot depth as well. Coming to the back of the car now, again, all been kept very, very nicely in here, and this shows the rear seats in their vertical position. This forms part of the magic seats. Just such a clever and ingenious design, and beautifully engineered by Honda. Literally just pull that lever up there, drop it down, it just clicks into place rather. With the seats down, hopefully you can see there, well, the camera doesn't do it justice really, the seats in the back there in excellent condition. It's coming into the front passenger side, door card very good, just a little bit wear, just wear by the armrest there, and the plastic silver trim, which is quite common. You can easily touch them in or get them sprayed if you want to, but I am critical on these videos, probably harder than most people would ever be on their cars. Front passenger seat there, hardly been given any use at all. It really is in fabulous condition in there. So driver's door card, again, very good, with again just that little bit of wear, just on, you can see on the silver trim there, where sort of arms rest on there and bracelets catch. Footwell area is very clean and tidy, and driver's seat, with the mileage on the car, you'd expect it to be good, and it certainly is. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section so you can see the dashboard illuminated, and it's in absolutely beautiful condition in here. All the little recesses have been kept really, really nicely on the car. Again, just a nice sign of ownership as much as anything else. Then of course to my favourite view of this dashboard, which is absolutely sensational, and that's kind of the view you get as a driver. This two-tiered design, and so the only light you can see on there with the information light is the low fuel light, and hopefully you can see that 45,376 miles recorded. But it really is in lovely condition in here. Just to show you, owner's manual pack is here and present with the car, as is very importantly the lock and wheel nut key. So finally, just to come under the bonnet, and beautifully presented engine bay by Honda. Cam chain driven engines of course, so no cam belt services to worry about on them, and this one's just been serviced. More about this engine in the following road test video. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.8 SE. This particular car is registered TJ07CYL. Mileage at the start of the road test is 45,370 miles. Reason for doing these road tests is basically so customers who are interested in the cars that we're selling actually get to see them in operation prior to coming to see us. That way, if there's any issues on the car, we can and we will relay them back to you. It's the whole point of doing the videos. We're very well aware that lots of our customers come from not just the UK but also the whole of Europe as well. So the least we can do is to go to the time and trouble of doing this for you. If you hear a ping coming on the dashboard every now and again, that's the speed warning that's been set on the car at 30 miles an hour and 50 miles an hour, which I'll turn off because I find them really annoying. It's also done on the very quiet country roads, very close to our premises, so hopefully it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself if offered a test drive on the car. So coming to the car itself, just gone through the workshops, absolutely flew through actually. It's in very, very nice condition. Engine's been serviced as well. Engine starts absolutely instantly, settles to completely smooth and even idle. There's no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. And aside, I said that from a low fuel light, which obviously fuel will extinguish that. But the engine's a wonderful unit, very, very sweet and smooth in operation. It's got a lovely flexible nature to it, pulls nice and keenly straight away, but as with all VTEC engines, really comes into its own at the higher revs as well. But its main strengths are clearly the reliability and durability of the engines, which are absolutely unmatched in its class. On top of which, the fuel economy is extraordinary in them. 43 to the gallon is actually very, very easy to get. It's not one of these claims where you've got to struggle. I've got many of my customers achieving well over 50 actually, but 43 is eminently capable. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car, smooth, positive in actuation. There's no clicks or creaks from the pedal at all. Bite point is exactly where it should be on the pedal travel as well. Clutch then feeds through into the 6-speed manual gearbox, which I've always said on these Civics I absolutely love. It's got a fantastic actuation to it. Like all, or pretty much all modern front-wheel drive cars, the gear lever here is actually connected to the gearbox by cables, not by rods or levers anymore. It saves weight and makes it more reliable. But the problem with them is, of course, some manufacturers seem to allow them to go into production with kind of slightly vague gear changes, which are lifeless and not particularly enjoyable to use. This gearbox is wonderful. It's got a real sort of snick action to it. Honda do these things brilliantly because they know it's one of your primary controls, and they love people to enjoy the drive of their cars, and this gearbox is absolutely as it should be. I can't feel any wear in it at all. It feels absolutely as slick and as smooth as it ever would have done. Steering on the car, real strong point on this generation Civic. I mean, they really are fantastic. It's very dynamic, very direct. It also, by the way, tracks absolutely bullet straight. Doesn't deviate at all. There's no vibrations coming back to the steering wheel at all on the vehicle at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit either. So all in very fine order. But it's just, you literally just have to turn the wheel a tiniest little bit through corners like this, and the car just moves as one. It's got a real wonderful precision to it. And I can't, as I said, I can't feel any wear through it. It just feels incredibly tight and taut. Likewise, the chassis of the vehicle, what I'm looking for on test drive is just signs of any kind of wear coming from underneath the vehicle, where there might be a few thuds or clonks coming from underneath. And that's normally things like, anti-roll bar links chattering away underneath. It can be more serious stuff, but there's nothing on this at all. They also ride on roads like this very comfortably indeed, got really good body control. And as I said, with the assistance of the steering, it's got such agility to it. It changes direction brilliantly well. Only the very sharpest ridges will catch it out, but it's a really, really lovely chassis. Just going to swing around now. The brakes, when we checked them, the pads had loads of pad depth left. The discs were, again, you had loads of meat on them as well, and the pedal feels very good in the car. fabulous, fabulous engine, this. Looking around inside the car, it's been obviously kept very, very well indeed. It's a wonderful, wonderful dashboard to sit behind. It's got this two-tier design, which I have always loved on these cars. So you've got, you know, this lovely high-up display for the speedo, so I can look directly at the car in front, but also keep an eye on my speed very, very easily indeed without taking my eyes off the road for a second. Then to the left of that, you've got your radio and ventilation readouts as well. So again, just encouraging you not to take your eyes off the road for any longer than necessary. But it's just a wonderful place to sit behind and look at. Very, very, very well put together as well. I can't really detect any creaks or groans at all. And this is real build quality over many years. But it's, you know, and at night it really is. It's a work of art in here. They look absolutely fantastic. But everything I pressed has worked exactly as it should. As I said, apart from the only sort of minor bits of wear on the sort of the doors there with the, you know, the plastics, which will always wear slightly, but you can colour those in anyway. You know, it's in very, very nice condition in here. As I said at the start of the video, the point of the video is actually to pick up any issues on the vehicle, and there's nothing to report back. It drives absolutely beautifully, this car. It really, really does. You know, obviously with such a low mileage, you'd expect it to be good, and it certainly is that. But having said that, if I've missed anything on the video, obviously don't hesitate, please do give us a call.